Welcome back, everybody. It is the fourth series of the day, Virtus Pro versus Team Serenity. And this should be a pretty interesting one. I know that Virtus Pro, I think they're always a pretty fun team to watch, especially in their very dominant form that they've been pretty much all year long. And Team Serenity, who I've seen it. I've seen all of you guys talking about it. Everybody really wants them to be the new Wings. Blitz, is Team Serenity the new Wings?
What? The only thing they really have in common is they're a Chinese team, and they pick some wild stuff once in a while, but...
And they pick some wild stuff, yes.
I mean, Wings was so creative. Like, the way that they drafted at the time, it was like they would flash a core, you would counter that core, and then they were so versatile that they would just flash two cores at you, and then you were donezo, like in the draft.
There was a strong element of strategy to the craziness, right?
Whereas this is just insane. Like I don't get it sometimes. Like the thing is like everyone was really impressed with Wings, and you should be, because what they did was it was really good. Like they utilized their core players' overall skill potential to its fullest. Sometimes Serenity, like from what I'm hearing from people, is like they just do stuff to do stuff. It's just like, well, I don't even know if they think it'll work.
Like from an outsider's perspective, it looks to me like they're trying to be Wings, but they're just not. You know,
man, how can we confuse everyone, including ourselves?
We're gonna run side lane Storm Spear. Well, Virtus Pro is gonna do something a little weird. They're gonna run Shen and Enchantress. Enchantress has been first ban in a lot of games so far. I've been complaining about the hero quite a bit, and we're actually going to see both those heroes that can take some neutrals and use them to their advantage.
Yeah, Enchantress is just such a good hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Doesn't really... I know people think of her traditionally as a 4, but you just stick her in the offlane and run at people.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that it can be run as 3 or 4 right now, as we've seen a couple teams. I think Jabs was playing a 4 position Enchantress earlier. Obviously, with a Chen, we're probably going to be seeing a offlane Enchantress.
I will
for
say
Pasha.
that I really like Team Serenity's logo. It's clean.
High praise from Blitz
clean.
Dota.
It's pretty clean.
It is very clean.
I think they're okay. I just sometimes I just maybe I'm not a good enough player to understand the meta. It's not 100%.
Well, it sounds like to me that other pro players don't understand. So I'm not going to say that maybe they're not good enough to understand what's going on either.
I was so curious, just like what is with Serenity, because it's a really interesting team. I haven't seen them play. There's just not a lot of data on them. Pretty much everyone's like, I've got no idea what they're doing. Apparently, sometimes it works though. I don't think I should ever sell them out or anything like that for what they do, but they've got some cool stuff in the bag. So hopefully, we get to see that. We saw they played Secret in a straight up game in game 1, where the draft was still a little bit weird the way that it was composed, but they still played very good Dota. So the potential is there. We'll see how far they get.
Well, they open with a Crystal Maiden Clinks, which I kind of like this that's opening. Feels like Clinks is pretty good right now, but I like the combination that you've got a core on the board that you're hoping will be able to win the lane against the Enchantress and so on and so forth. But one of the biggest weaknesses of Clinks is that he just doesn't clear waves, right?
Yeah.
He just sucks at that. Well, you've got Crystal Maiden, a support that can do it for you.
Strafe is insane, though.
Yeah.
Strafe is really good. People are starting to catch on to this Clinks hero. I think the North American side sort of realized the potential of this hero. And I will say that is one of the benefits to what Wings did, is they boot camped in NA, which at the time was very unique, right? Because for the most part, Chinese teams wanted to play on Chinese soil, but Wings were like, let's come to NA. They played at the BTS office, and they just grinded games. And that exposes you to both metas, because you know what you know already.
Yeah.
Then you come to NA, and then you just get these heroes.
So you think do you think that's a good idea for just teams in general to try and expose themselves to other regions before heading to TI as much as possible?
Like if TI was held in Russia next year, like I would expect the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You would just do something along those lines. Or like for Shanghai Major, do you remember when Secret and Puppy and them they went over early and then they
Yes.
kept running into this Doom here. Like these
They're
things
like, wow, Doom's crazy.
yeah, just expanding your knowledge of Dota is never a bad thing because
Yeah.
every region has like some really really annoying stuff. Like for the summit, you saw and they set the meta for stupid heroes.
And you've been saying that that's what this meta is going to be about.
Yeah. Who
These
has
kind
the
of
wildest last pick? We win the game. One-upsmanship. Oh, you've got Brood? Brood was 4 picks ago, buddy. Like, I'm on that Huskar mid. Like, you need to be on the new tier stuff before anybody else is on it. He's like,
what is the craziest stuff that you've seen so far from? I know you haven't seen all the games.
I saw a
Neither
bunch
have
of Huskar mids, but I didn't
Yeah.
see it be very successful. But people are trying.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key here. Is that at least you're trying.
I feel like another thing to talk about for the Clinks right now, a lot of single target like disables, and I was going to point to this hero Wraith King's being picked up a lot. I saw a lot of Vengeful Spirit supports being picked up as well, and Strafe is obviously mega value against these projectile stuns. And there's going to be another projectile coming in. It is the Phantom Lancer for Virtus Pro to try and counterpick the Wraith King. I feel like it's very good versus the Clinks as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So value pickup there.
I like PL here a lot. I think he's good against everybody.
10 seconds remaining.
Obviously, you get a defusal, you burn all of Wraith King's mana.
5 seconds
I presume that this is.
Turn to
Ooh.
What?
So they're going to have a Riki following the Chen around?
Yeah, I'd presume so. Normally, we see that as a bounty hunter.
So why Riki then? Riki gives you the silence, the AoE silence, which can be
10
good
seconds
against
remaining.
Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have some element of catch there,
5
but
seconds
He has
remaining.
the ultimate, which you can do damage to the Enchantress without trying to actually right-click her. Weird. The Cloud inside the Clockwork cogs. He can't actually right-click his way out of his own cogs.
I don't know. It's a lot of single target right now.
Serenity's
Yeah.
There's
turn
not a lot
to
of team
battle.
fight. I think that's what they're drastically missing right now. It's just they don't have a lot of team fight.
So you expect their mid to be something like, say, the Ember Spirit that was just banned by VP? Something that really
10
makes up
Serenity's
for
turn to pick.
that angle.
Yeah, I feel like they just need something to deal with this PL right now, though. Ember would have been really nice. If there wasn't a Clockwork on the team, I would have said something like Tinker too. Like, you need some sort of mobility that gets on top of this PL. There's some viability in picking something like Leshrac as well.
Is
10
what about
seconds remaining.
there's Clockwork. I was gonna say Tinker.
Yeah, that's what
5 seconds
That's what I said.
remaining.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
Tinker or Lesh or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you need a wave clear hero, and you need something that deals with the PL. And I think both of those heroes do it too.
Yeah.
Maybe Zeus if you're. I'm not in love with that though. I'd prefer Tinker or. What was the other hero I said?
Lashrak.
Yeah, I'm okay with either of those.
What about Lena? How are you feeling about Lena? I've seen one, maybe two of them so far in this tournament.
She's okay against some of these heroes. You don't love building. I mean, part of the problem is that you have to get 4 staff against Clockwork
Yeah.
with all of these heroes. That's why Ember or Storm would have been nice, because both those heroes don't. They just don't need it.
Yeah. Same goes with Morana.
Oh,
Wind
so they
Ranger.
take. Huh.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you get the focus fire onto the Phantom Lancer, he doppelgangers. You still keep it. You know exactly which one is the real one. Good damage on the Enchantress. I can see how it deals with both those cores.
I think their lineup plays kind of fast, but I feel like there's some
10
issues with them
seconds
killing
remaining.
creeps.
Yeah.
Am I wrong here? Because if you're
5
Clinks, you just don't want to show on the
seconds
map.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be the guy pushing out the waves.
Well, yeah, they pretty much got Power Shot and Crystal Nova and maybe some Wraith King, like, popping out the Skelly boys and pushing down lane, but that's not a great amount of wave clear, you're right.
This is
Well, that's why they've got Crystal Maiden. They've got the aura to spam those 2 abilities as much as possible because they're going to need it.
I'm trying to think of how a push from VP looks like, and how Serenity defends that.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks a little bit.
Well, you start by eating one of the creeps as Clinks.
Yes.
Nice.
Got him.
And then Wraith King comes in. Oh, he no longer crit kills. So, yeah, there goes that.
Choose your hero.
Invoker. Oh, by the way, Wind Ranger is not great versus Enchantress in one aspect.
Yeah, because you purged the.
You purge the wind run.
Who decided on that? Sure.
I've literally been complaining about that for like the last month. Especially since NA is so in love with Enchantress.
God, love her.
It's like, let's talk about Enchantress' ability. It's one of the only 2 abilities in the game that lets you take neutral creeps and use them for yourselves. 3, if you want to count an item. It goes ahead, really good slow. Let's just allow it to do one more thing. Let's allow it to purge as well. No one Invoker. Invoker and Phantom Lancer on the same team. Is that not a little greedy?
I think it's a little greedy, but they've got. I mean, they have really good space heroes, and Ramsey's, as long as he just has Diffusal, he's fight ready against all of Serenity's lineup. Because all of Serenity's lineups, just I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed.
I'm looking before Diffusal Blade though. Like, you don't really have a whole lot of. Like, aren't you kind of get run over about 20 minutes?
I don't know. I feel like this Wind Ranger has to do a lot in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a really curious draft. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not so arrogant to say it's a bad draft because who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something here that I'm just not seeing.
So most of this meta has been all about the laning phase. So what do you anticipate? Are we just gonna have normal lanes? We're just gonna have the Wraith King, off lane, mid Wind Ranger, safe lane Clinks. Everything's normal. Nobody tries to dodge or anything like that.
Yeah. It should be.
All right.
That makes the most sense to me, anyways.
All right. Real quickly, predictions. Team with the first
Prepare
Roshan
for
kill.
battle.
Team with the first Roshan kill.
Serenity. They've got Clinks.
Yeah, but you've got Chen on the side of VP.
Okay. So we're doing VP.
Yeah, I feel like VP should be ahead in this game.
Team with most runes feels like Chen. He controls those areas really well. But Riki on the other side. Oh,
Are all your answers just going to be Ricky based?
could be. Could be. I'm going Serenity. You're taking too long. Player with the highest total physical damage done to heroes at game end. Phantom Lancer. Invoker? Physical damage?
Maybe. Oh, sorry. Physical damage.
Yeah. Wind Ranger or Phantom Lancer? Clinks? Clinks.
That
If they
you're
win.
presuming- yeah, you're presuming.
If they win, it's Clinks. All right. GGG. Go, go, go.
Yeah, we're
Player
all
with the
about
least
Serenity.
deaths. All right, I'm on Serenity, man. I'm just
All
going to choose
in
it
on
again.
Serenity?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bad move.
Hey, we didn't all in. We put VP for the first Roshan kill. So despite the fact that their lineup is greedy and it doesn't come online super fast. That sounds counterintuitive.
There's a Blightstone on that Chen.
A rush for the Bounty Rune in the bottom lane, but there is already a Riki sitting behind Solo. Looks like they're going to try and go for that early first blood. Ramsey's Dutchman to pick up the Bounty Rune. He's going to try and make the most of the space that his support and captain just gave him. He's going to grab both the Bounty Runes away. And that means Virtus Pro will have a net worth lead. Funny how that works. Does manage to dodge the Wraithfire blast as it comes in a second time, at least.
That is the concern for me all game. He's going to see this slow projectile.
Yep. Maybe they're both going to be in melee form. Maybe the Wraith King will have a little bit more success. But I'm not sure what the Riki's going to be able to accomplish for him. Solo did go for the early Penitence, which means he is just going to be playing in lane to start. Meanwhile, top lane, we are going to have the Clockwork Enchantress lane up against the double range of Clinks and Crystal Maiden. So it sounds like a relatively good lane to deal with Crystal Maiden. But Roger is certainly going to have his say about that. He's going to pull the creep wave. He's going to pull the creep wave and block the easy gam at the same time. A nifty little maneuver.
You see in mid too. ZYD is just running at him.
Yeah. That's That's what he's got to do against an Invoker, right?
Yeah.
Punish him for picking this greedy mid.
Hey, he's not even that bad of a laner anymore. As
Oh, yeah? Oh, he could
no
go for
one
this
is
kill.
Getting really
No
low.
one. A little bit close. Win runs up. Tries to go for the power shot. Oh, ZYD completely with that one. Now he's going to take a ton of damage.
He might
no
just
one.
die.
All right.
Oh,
Fairy
he
Fire.
pops the
Oh,
cleric, or the salve is gone.
his salve is gone, and no one just popped his own salve. That completely changes the laning phase. ZYD is going to have to get regen to himself. Stat.
Oh, I feel like he's tilted now.
Yeah. I felt like it should have been a kill, or at least close to one.
He had 150. He would have lived,
Uh,
but you would have at least zoned him out. The issue was that the salve trade right there. Before the salve trade, everything's okay.
Look how much vision they have to be able to see the Chen rotations, too. They really wanted ZYD to be able to take this 1v1, not be interrupted by any Chen rotations or anything like that, have full knowledge of everything that's going on, but he has to actually win that 1v1 first. Brought the healing salve out to himself now. Pops a win run, will be good.
Okay, so now the lane from no one is a little bit awkward because he used all of his mana to try to pop a kill.
Ramsey's trying to fight. Managed to eat his way through the trees. Jinkyu can't quite see him, does spot him out now. Managed to get the healing salve, and they actually get the kill on the Riki. PYW, he's trying to go for the kill on Ramsey, but he gets the send back, and now he's blocked in. Solo with the double kill. Outplay on Team Serenity.
The instant TP from Ramses too. He just comes back into the lane. Everything's fine. Chen as a safe lane support is still well and alive. And now the Dire Courier goes down too.
And now, the Riki's going to die again. He's underneath the sentry, will be able to get out of range. Can he land the Satyr Tormentor Blast? He's not going to go for it.
Yeah. And the top lane,
All right. Kill
Pasha?
onto Clockwork, but that's a trade out. Pasha.
they lost the Courier too. They brought it into the lane.
What?
Yeah, Serenity just sort of brought the Courier into the lane and it died. Like at top lane?
All right, well, ZYD's definitely going to be tilted now, because look at him. He's on 180 HP, and he's got no way to get regen to himself.
Ooh. At this point, anything that Solo does is a good trade. The
Yeah.
Quas regen is making it really difficult for ZYD to do anything.
Wraith King being gone on the bottom lane with double creeps, thanks to being able to net the experience off of that double kill earlier. He has a huge experience. At least not a little juke around there by
has no
PYW, but
TP.
he is still very dead.
Okay, and no one gets a solo
And-
kill too?
Just kills all over the place. Team Serenity are losing the laning phase real hard now.
I mean, that's part of having, like, Riki,
Yeah.
is it's going to be a little bit wonky.
And this is something that Virtus Pro has long been known for, is how adept that they are at being able to win the laning phase.
Yeah. Part of the issue is that I can't tell who's meant to... I can tell it by the players, but I was just going to joke and say I can't tell who the support and who the offlaner is.
Yeah.
I'd imagine the idea is that, like, Riki has pretty good laning presence. The Blink Strike almost always secures you the range creep. Is what it most likely is too, especially once you see the Chen, right? But I don't even know how much that matters because they're just kind of running at each other and they're dying. And Ramses is being run at here, but look,
They faked out
He's
the
got
Wraith Fire
stun.
Blast. Will be able to get the real hit now, slowing him down inside of the cloud. They're getting a lot of damage onto him. Solo shows himself now, managed to get a big crit onto Ramses. Not quite enough to land, slowing down Jin Q. He will be able to get away. Ramses also managed to juke and jive his way through to get the full healing salve duration out. Meanwhile, the top lane,
they're gonna get all the
GGG,
bounty
managed to kill
runes.
Roger. And the bounty runes, well, Serenity's going to try and go for one. Solo managed to get in front of PYW,
1
though.
second for a stun.
The race is on, and manages to get into high ground, picks up the bounty rune before PYW could stop him. So that means, what? 2
3
for
out of
2
4.
trade out in bounties.
Was it not 3 out of 4? Oh, Pasha got one.
Yeah, Pasha got one. And they killed the Clockwork up here in the top lane. They did not trade out.
And this bottom lane, though, just continues to be sort of miserable.
I mean, double Satyr Tormentors. There's no way you beat that. I'm not sure what possible aggro duo could do well. Top lane, they're going to go for the Clockwork Kill. Manage to get the Cogs onto the Crystal Main underneath the tower. Pasha will stick around to finish off XCJ, and Roger will survive. TP in from the Riki will do nothing for them, at least for the time being, especially if it looks like they're going to go and just shrine up.
And I feel like that is the core Riki that made the rotation. He's got a Wraithman and a Ring of Aquila.
Yeah. No one?
ZYD
He managed to get the tornado on ZYD. Now the double Zeta Blast comes in. No one's just keeping him slow for Roger to be able to get in close range. And, well, good little shackle shot, but no damage to follow it up. The smoke immediately popped. And
he's there.
Riki hiding into the Roshan. They know he's there. He's going to check out the Roshan pit for sure.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Didn't they ping the Roche pit?
They definitely did ping the Roshan pit.
Oh, it was worth
But
the
then
check.
somebody else, I thought it was Teal. I thought it was Ramses. Pinged down the river a little bit, so not sure.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still, though, they're going to make the rotation.
I'm watching PYW just stun creeps for CS.
Oh my god, the double Satyr Blast plus the Penitence! It almost single-handedly blew up XCJ, and he'll end up getting picked off. GGG still going to stick around and make sure that this push doesn't threaten the tower.
I mean, they just have so many lane dominators on the side of VP. And VP
Yeah.
probably just looks at that lineup and just laughs. Like, we're going to win the laning phase really hard, guys.
Yeah. We're talking about how greedy it is, but hey,
Radiant are
VP,
falling.
EG, those are two teams that can do something like that, right? Just be greedy because they've got
is
good laning phase heroes.
Hey, is it greedy?
Yeah, I mean, not greedy from, if the laning phase is everything, then it's not greedy at all.
The courier dying really hurt the most, though. Especially
Yeah.
for the mid lane.
That was
Top.
definitely silly. Top lane, they're
Dive
going to go
again?
for it, trying to go for the kill onto Solo. Can't quite get it with the reveal onto the Clinks, and still not having his level 6. Can't save himself. He's going to end up going down. They're still going to try and chase Solo as he's slowed down by the Crystal Nova. We'll be able to get it with a power shot long range from ZYD as he makes his rotation over. Still, though, they traded
Ramsey's
a
got the
core
solo.
for a support. And Ramses, yeah. I mean, he's level 7. Wraith King is nothing to him at this point.
That is a level 3 Wraith King who has boots, does not want to be in this bottom lane. I don't think anybody really wants to be in any of the lanes right now.
Yeah. There is not only a 3K gold lead for Virtus Pro at this point, but pretty similar numbers there in experience.
And Tornado connects.
And just to go for the kill into the Wraith King, slowed down by the Penitence, clapped by the Hellbear Smasher. Nice shackle shot, though. Locking down the two of them. They're splitting up their damage, though. One win for Solo, the other win for no one. No one's going to get the send back. Already got the Shadow Walk away. He's going to be okay. Solo, he'll probably die for it, but he saved his core, and that was what was most important to his heart.
Splitting the damage there was definitely not the play.
No. It would have been a little close, but I think they could have killed the Invoker.
Especially with the silence down. That's just a little bit of a miscommunication. It was such a good setup, too, on the Shackle.
Kling's chased away. Tornado not going to land. Good dodge there.
Radiant's middle tower
By
is under
GGG.
attack.
Run himself away, trying to go for the Javelin build. They're still going to try and chase him all the way down. He does not have a Skeleton Walk, and looks like he's just going to be chased down. The TPs come in, but they immediately are burned out of their mana, and now they're going to separate. Virtus Pro getting greedy, wanting to be able to pick up a kill on both of those supports. Won't be able to find either one of them. They're all going to back up to the
Radiant's
shrine.
middle tower is under attack.
Have themselves a group huddle.
I feel like Roger's not really sure where he's supposed to be.
Mm.
Because all the lanes are sort of
Dire's
just
bottom
succeeding
tower is
without him.
under attack.
It's a good problem to have. As the supports, Roger is going to run to the wrong neighborhood, but Ramses, as well as nice tornado from no one, managed to get the EMP out. It's going to burn both of them with a cog
Nice
trapped in.
cogs.
Roger, he may not even die. GGG comes in and ends his life, but it is still a 1-for-2 trade out to the favor of VP.
Dude, everyone from VP got a rune here. What was your prediction
Oh
again?
my goodness.
Ooh.
That is, yeah, incorrect. Virtus Pro got 9. So there's what, 15? Wait, it says by 10. You think it's including? Because most people are picking up at 10, you know, 0.0001 second, you know? You think that's including that?
I think you're done, though.
I mean, Virtus Pro definitely won either way. I'm just saying, did they get 9 out of the
I don't
first
know why
10 or
you
9
all
out
went
of
on this
15?
Riki picking up runes.
You know,
Did you see him? He was not concerned about the runes at all. As the courier goes down
I mean, he was
again.
too busy trying to salvage the laning phase. BYW is going to come in, tries to go for the stun onto Solo, but he's immediately going to get just chopped down by the neutral creeps. And they're all trying to go for the kill onto Solo, but is this really worth it, guys? They are going to be able to get it. They've already traded one away. Pasha's trying to chase down XCJ. Does manage to get the dust. Now he does have his level 6. He's going to be able to buy himself sometimes with the
that's a
tricks of the
lot.
trade, but coming back in, still revealed. Ramses, meanwhile, chasing down kills onto the Klings. Jumps over to the Crystal Maiden. Couldn't quite get it, though. The last impetus shot does chase him down, and now the Centaur
gonna
leading
dive
way
him
underneath
now.
the tower. Pasha is going to take all competitors on. He will find XCJ deep inside the jungle, eventually revealed by the Sunstrike from no one. Thank you very
his
much.
Ricky sold him out.
He really did.
His Ricky.
Get me out of here, dude. That's what PYW, honestly. Level 4 Wraith King at 11.5 minutes in. I think he just wants to get out of this game.
Yeah. I don't know what his purpose is anymore, just because they got stomped so hard in this bottom lane.
Yeah.
I mean, VP's almost averaging like 2 kills a minute. Nobody really wants to be on this game on the side of Serenity. The bottom lane was an absolute disaster. ZYD lost his courier top somehow, so he's just like, I am supposed to trade evenly in this mid lane, but no one got such a big head start as a result of everything that happened. He's almost got what looks like a Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, this Invoker is having much bigger impact than the Wind Ranger, and that is not a good sign.
Yeah, and they're just kind of running at this clockwork, but not a lot of playmakers on the side of Team Serenity, which is
Alright.
sort of what we were concerned about. As
They're
top
all
lane
going for Pasha. They're all going for it, but he already got off the heal. Is outside of the range of the smoke. They're going to be able to run him down with a Wind Ranger, though. Thankfully, that hero, he still doesn't have any of his items. He still doesn't have a Javelin or a Mythal Hammer to build into the Maelstrom, but he still does pretty good damage.
Yeah, and without the Force Staff, he's not going to be able to get
Bottom
out of
lane,
the cloud.
trying to go for the real Ramses do have the freezing field. That's going to do a lot of damage to the real one. Managed to get the Cogs pushback. That stops the freezing field. Ramses does manage to escape. Roger saves the day and helps them get a double in the bottom lane. Ramses gets one, Roger gets the other, and Ramses will claim the tier 1 tower on top of that. So Ramses is now at 7k net worth. The Virtus Pro, the Virtus Plow, it just keeps marching on.
MVP is just such a good test for every team. It's like,
Yeah.
you're going to do some cute stuff? Let's find out if it's any good.
Virtus Pro really is like the stress test of Dota 2.
And part of what makes them so good is that they're going to challenge you heavily at every phase of the game. They're a good early game team, very dominant in the lanes, because something I guess that doesn't really get talked a lot about is just the way that they prioritize courier usage. Like you saw in mid lane, I know for most people they don't think it matters, but it was like you allow no one to use the courier a full 20 seconds before ZYD gets to use the courier. Like they always just know where to send things, making sure that people are always winning the regen battle in all the lanes.
Right.
This was most prevalent at ESL Birmingham, where Solo's playing Disruptor, and they're just allowing him to use the courier, and he's just sparing himself more and more salves so that he can win the offlane. It's like stuff like this which just sort of separates them, because they get an advantage everywhere.
Right. Is the courier supposed to, like, does it just change in certain games? Does it allow the strong lanes to continue to win even harder, or does it help shore up the weaker lane? Because here, isn't it shoring up the weaker lane in the Invoker?
Yeah. I mean, they just did a good job of that. He had his tango set before he even took that fight.
Pasha and no one together will take the tier 1 mid tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And a smoke wrapping in from the 2 supports. Solo, his entire army, as well as Roger to lead the way with hookshot.
You lost that rune bet, right?
Oh, I definitely did. It wasn't even close.
I like how confident you sound on that. As Ramses picks up the rune again, as Shackle does not connect, but Pasha in the thick of things.
Tornado comes in, does manage to stop the freezing field, but they do manage to finish off the Enchantress finally. But Wraith King got burned out of all his mana. The magic stick wasn't actually going to be good enough and doesn't get the mana back for the reincarnation. ZYD's dead as well. Jinkyu's going to be trapped underneath the icy cold fingers of Invoker. GGG. It's the last victim, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. No stuns. All right. Cold Snap was still on cooldown for another 2 seconds. So Serenity only lose 3 heroes inside their own jungle.
It's 15 minutes in, though. They're down 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
Haven't even lost any tier 2s. They haven't even lost their tier 1 tower at top.
So
this is still the deficit that exists.
William, which part of this experiment was a failure? Was it the Wraith King support, or was it the core Riki, or were they both failures?
God, there's just so many things wrong with that statement.
I mean, at least we knew why they went Riki and not Bounty Hunter.
Do we though?
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It's just kind of I can't help but laugh because it's so. I was just like, man, I really hope that they're gonna show us what they're all about. Some crazy stuff will happen, and then they just kind of fed everywhere.
Dire's top tower has
I would like to see what the game looked like without the Fed courier top
Yeah.
lane. That's where the real disaster began. Because then it was unsalvageable for your lanes.
Yeah.
Dire's top
Like,
tower
ZYD
has
screwed up
fallen.
for sure, but then it just got so much worse once the courier died.
Yeah, once the courier died, it was just like, well, mid lane's over. As a mid laner, part of the problem is that you don't want to just give up on the lane.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures
So you stay around with 200 HP. No one will kill you. This is an offensive invoker. Plus
Radiant's
Wex.
bottom tower
He
is
just picks
under
up 2
attack.
spells. You die.
Dire's
You mess
top
up once on the
tower
win
is
run.
under attack. Radiant structures
That
are
in part really
fortified.
helps out for their whole entire mid-game transition, right, that we're talking about. Even though they're 11k up, if this game was a little bit more even, this Quax Wex Invoker would actually have a much larger impact around that 15-20 minute marker. Here, he obviously has a gigantic impact, thanks in part to such a strong lead. Mid lane, they are going to be able to kill the Riki once again. Trio of Solo, Pasha, and Roger. And Diffusal Blade is almost up for Ramses. And you said once that is up, then the Phantom Lancer is pretty much online. And now they're going to go Roshan. So things just keep on getting worse and worse and worse for
Hey,
Team
we got
Serenity.
first Roshan. If you had let me done the predictions, though, I would have gotten at least 3 of them.
Sure, that's true.
I mean, I wanted Ramses on both of those.
Did you though?
Yeah.
You should have been louder, more authoritative in your answer.
That's true. It's only the first day of TI. I've got to be... You ramp up the hype. That's what a good playlist does.
Not your workout playlist. I've heard your workout playlist.
It's just all hits.
The 250 health now for the Phantom Lancer. That makes it real tough. Tornado in from the side. No one's just begging anybody from Serenity to stick their neck out a little bit too far.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Solo immediately just pops the heal as... Oh, I heard a hook shot.
Yeah, he's spotted with this Ward Sentry combination next to the shrine, but
Okay, now tier 2 towers
Middle tower
are
has
starting to
fallen.
fall. We've got a 12k lead.
Radiant's bottom tower
And this is
under
what I
attack.
meant by the
Radiant's
lack of
bottom tower
wave clear.
has fallen.
Is you
Yeah.
can't really stop VP from doing this. This is... I think this is probably the most confusing part of the lineup for me. Is that when you get behind, the easiest way to deal with the game is just you push out the other waves, then you force VP to respawn around the map. But because they have no heroes that do that,
I mean, look at GGG. He went for Maelstrom.
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
he-
he
he's-
does that because he's against a PL as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to get what little wave clear he can, but it's just not great. They've got, at most, one lane pushed out.
So that means that they were sort of all in on the laning phase going well.
Yeah.
But how could that be possible with the heroes that they have? It just feels like some weird paradox where they just sort of trap themselves. It's like, we gotta win the lanes, but we've got Ricky Wraith King. But we can't lose the lanes because we chose no way to deal with the rest of the game. I know it's become a bit of a meme at this point, like me and
Dire's
killing
bottom
creep waves or
tower
whatever,
is
but
under
it is how you win Dota when you're behind and stuff like that. Like, I saw Mineski, they utilize that. They have 5 heroes that kill creeps.
Yeah.
That may be a little bit overboard, but
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
An alacritied Phantom Lancer. Make short work of the tier 2.
he's got Diffusal and he's got
And-
Heart queued up. He's not even that far from it.
With all these siege creeps coming in as well.
Did they just pop a smoke in front of him?
I think they did. Clink's going to be caught. He's definitely dead.
They're all running from Ramses.
Dire's bottom tower
Nobody
is
wants to
under
fight.
attack.
Tried to go for the Shackle Shot. Dodged by the Manta.
I mean, that's why we wanted something like the Lesh or the Tinker, right? So
Yeah.
that they could deal with Ramses.
Riki coming in from the side, trying to go for the kill on Roger. Now PYW is going to be caught. Tornado and EMP maybe? Or maybe they'll just kill him twice. Ramses is going to deal with the rest of the team, keeping them back from being able to provide reinforcements to the Wraith King, who will die, sure enough. And with only 2 alive of Team Serenity,
Dire's bottom
I
barracks
don't see this
under
lane of Rax surviving.
They're probably just going to go mid.
And they could probably just rotate into mid.
Dire's
There's no tier 2s up anywhere on the map for Team Serenity, so their complete
Radiant's
base
middle tower
is
under
exposed.
attack.
Get him, siege creeps. Alright. Jump in. Smoke Cloud trying to slow down Roger. Does have the Force Staff, though, to be able to get himself some distance. Has to jump himself away. PYW is going to be slowed down by Ramsey. Still has the Aegis. He's willing to give up his life to be able to get a couple kills here, and he may not even die. Dances out of the freezing field, survives a little bit longer, manages Doppelganger down. No, he actually stays on the high ground, but ZYD didn't know that. So he managed to survive just a little bit longer. Gets back up to half HP thanks to the Spirit Vessel. Diving in against ZYD. Doppelganger keep himself alive constantly. Alright, surely now he's going to go down. That will be the Crystal Nova to finish him off. Comes back, full HP, full
From
mana.
behind, the Clinks.
Clings trying to go for fast kill onto Roger. Instead, it is a fast death for him. Well, this is looking like a... Oh, what a chat wheel line from Pasha. Because this is definitely feeling like a great win for him, as just absolutely from nobody. From VP is dying here. Solo managed to get away on just a sliver of HP. Serenity trying to do what damage they can. Get a shackle shot. Don't have any damage to follow it up. And GG. So very rough game one for Team Serenity.
That was just one-sided. It really just felt like there was no point in the game where they got online.
Yeah. So what percentage are you going to give this the drafting advantage that Virtus Pro had, or the disadvantage that Serenity had, if you will?
I mean, this was... There were just too many elements that were missing, right?
Yeah.
It's like they didn't have team fight. It felt like there wasn't, and when you're, okay, so when you're behind, you need one of two things. You either need the ability to just constantly deal with waves and extend the game's life, or you need ways to start the fight and instantly just get a 4-on-5.
Yeah.
But they had neither of those. So that means that you have to, usually when that happens, you have like the EG conundrum where you're all in on the laning phase. Like that's why those two things don't exist, because you all in on the laning phase.
Right.
But that really didn't happen either, because they had Ricky Wraith King.
Yeah. So we're going to say 50%?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right, 50%. So Team Serenity can come back into Game 2 and look a lot better versus Virtus Pro if maybe they just situate themselves into a better draft. We're going to take a break, come back with Game 2, VP and Serenity. William, what do you want to see this time around? What would put your mind at ease?
Anything.
Stronger laning phase, or wave clear, or stronger team fight / initiation?
Yeah. It's kind of
One of
stunning
those three
to
things
miss
is
all
necessary.
three. In fact, it's a little bit hard to miss all three of those.
Yeah.
Silencer.
First pick silence.
It felt like they played some like weird random draft game. Like they restricted heroes themselves. It's like these are the heroes that we will work with.
That's how Riki came about.
PYW just like, you know how some authors they start with the ending, and then they work their way back. PYW is like, I'm picking
10 seconds
Wraith King
remaining.
support. How do we make this work?
We'll figure it out from there.
Turn to pick.
All right, so we're going to have the Silencer just straight up, which I feel like is quite a strong hero against the Crystal Maiden, against the Wisp, against a lot of the supports left in the pool.
We saw Optic pick it up
Virtus Pros
at the summit
turn
quite
to
often.
Yeah. Basically any hero that wants to be able to spam Silencer. Enchantress is still left in the pool, but Chen got banned this time around by Serenity. They will not give Solo an opportunity for a repeat performance because he destroyed the laning phase. And they were trying to dive Ramses, and he managed to get the double kill, picks up level 3, then has 2 neutrals for the next go around.
I want Serenity to work. I don't want people to call them the new wings. Serenity's like their own.
Yeah, y'all are jumping the gun there
All
on
you-
calling them the new wings.
All you know about them is that they're a Chinese team.
It's a Chinese team that I haven't heard of that does some interesting pick. Must be wings.
It's Wings Dota.
It's wings all over again. Guys, that's not how it works. Just real quickly, I do want to point out. So, some people were telling me that Q, the Chinese casters call him Xin Qing
Virtus
because the Q
Pros
stands for
turn to pick.
QING,
Shaker.
which would be what his old name was.
Mhm.
I personally am not going to go by that, and I know
Turn to
Owen and
ban.
Fogg didn't go by that, mostly because that's what's on the
Virtus
screen.
Pros turn
Shin
to
Q.
ban.
So we're going to go by that, but I do know that is his full gamer tag.
Remember,
you
it was.
wanna call
It's
it
like when
that.
Toby used to say, "Diya Ra." He would say,
Oh my god.
Team Serenity's turn to ban.
Where he was doing a translation, not a pronunciation.
God damn it,
Those are
Toby.
different things.
He's the son of Ra.
Yes.
I was like, come on, Tobes.
All right, we're going to have Earthshaker's second pick up here. Clockwork Wraith King going to be banned by VP. Clockwork makes a lot of sense there with the Earthshaker. And then you're going to have Storm Spirit and Pugna taken out by Team Serenity. Feel like Pugna is one of the better heroes to threaten Phantom Lancer's laning phase.
Just way too good of a laning phase. I think they picked the PL also to
10
dissuade
seconds remaining.
the possible Enchantress picks.
Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, they're successful in that so far.
And maybe you still do it if you think the lane is weak enough. I mean, Crystal Maiden PL isn't very strong.
What do you want against Phantom Lancer when you see it picked up early? Like, do you just try and like get an offlaner that like spams and pressures a lot? Do you want AoE control? What?
You just want to make sure that he doesn't have the sort of laning phase that he did last game.
Okay.
The ability to run at that hero is really good. And if you just have 1 or 2 AoE lockdown abilities, then you're always going to be somewhat okay.
Vengeful Spirit. We've seen a lot of this support picked up. Hasn't had the best success rate, I believe. So I'm not sure.
Fogged thought that
10
this hero was going to be
seconds
popular
remaining.
coming in,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like she still sort of struggles with the same issues
5
that she's always
seconds
struggled with,
remaining.
which is that she doesn't have the best laning phase. Like
Yeah.
the stun is nice, and swap is always going to be a very useful ability, but Dota has become so lane centric.
Yeah.
that if you just have a hero that doesn't really do anything, well then he or she better make up for it with some overwhelming team fight.
Yeah.
Which is why we see Phoenix so often. Phoenix is such a beast 5 because Phoenix, when you pop your ulti, you just have to focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a BKB piercing stun. The stun lasts forever. Like it's so annoying to fight back into.
I'm presuming this Vengeful Spirit is setting up another core to be more successful, something that does maybe a lot of physical damage. Because I'm not really sure where it fits just right here, right now. Virtus Pro taking a lot of time. In fact, almost all of their reserve time is gone in deciding their first core reveal, and it's going to be the Pangolier for Pasha. Ice 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 was playing this earlier. We casted KP playing the Pangolier. Seems to be decently popular, and I think Newbie picked it up against the Phantom Lancer in a similar situation. Nice to be able to have that kind of AoE clear.
10 seconds.
Good lane clear,
remaining.
good pressure on lanes, good AoE damage.
5 seconds remaining.
And if you're Serenity, you have a lot more reserve time to work with. I'd imagine that is Avenge support. These guys are sort of liable to do anything.
So you're going to want, like, so the way I'm thinking about this is you're not going to put the you're going to put the Vengeful Spirit in the off lane. You want some, like, good, pretty powerful physical damage dealer. But the problem is like, Virtus Pro have not revealed their 1 or 2 position. So you can't feel very confident if you just pick your offlaner right now in being able to actually win that lane.
You have to show your hand anyways, though.
Yeah.
Virtus Pros turn to Lena.
So they take Lena.
So they're going to pick up their mid first before choosing their offlane. This could also, but the Vengeful Spirit is still one of those flex picks in that it can also be a 3 position. It could actually be the core in the offlane, and we can have a different support.
10 seconds remaining.
Like that Lena pick, though.
5 seconds remaining.
In what way?
It was the hero that they beat Seeker with. It sort of enables their playstyle. It comes with team fight, and it allows you to deal with creeps.
I always like the combination of having one of your cores have both lane shove and the ability to pick off other lane shovers.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're superior in both regards. Like here, Lena and Pango both have the same kind of abilities. They both have a 1-2 punch that instantly kills a creep wave. But the dangerous part is that Lena can actively hunt Pangolier when he tries to do that sort of thing. And same potentially goes for the Shadow Fiend pickup now from Virtus Pro. So they are still keeping their safe lane hidden as long as possible. We're going to go into the last pick. Faceless Void is going to be the ban from Team Serenity, since they already have a nice ranged core. The AoE lockdown on the Phantom Lancer and Lena would set up the SF for success.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What's going through your mind right now, William?
Trying to figure out what offlaner sort of completes this. And VP, they left Ramses' hero last, too. You could take something like Lifestealer.
I was just about to say Weaver. What about Weaver Vengeful Spirit, the minus armor duo? There's still, I'm not sure how big a fan you're going to be of Clinks in that situation. Sven!
That is a hero I have not seen in many moons.
And he deals with minus armor really well. He is a tough hero to run a minus armor duo into, so...
Deals really well with PL at most phases of the game.
Yeah.
There's a period where the PL eventually gets a heart, and then you don't really worry about it too much. But up until that point, it's always going to be alright.
Alright. What about
Mm-hmm.
a Brewmaster?
I can kind of see it.
Miss percentage chance, ability to just take, the Sven out of the fight potentially. You still take advantage of the minus armor a little bit, but you at least have a bit more magic damage to work with. Somebody ran a bristleback already?
Really?
Or
If
maybe
you're looking at the heroes that have been picked?
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, it was banned.
Huh.
Somebody banned a bristleback already? Who's banning bristleback? I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing that hero quite a bit. I mean, it feels pretty good in my dumbass pubs, but all right, last 5 seconds. Team Serenity, drum roll. It is gonna be Ursa.
You may
Ooh,
now select
Ursa.
your heroes.
All right, so they're gonna try and put direct pressure onto the laning phase with this off lane Ursa plus. I'm not sure if that's gonna be Vengeful Spirit or Crystal Maiden in that lane. Heading into the Ramsey Sven, and then on top of that, it'll be a strong core to match into the SF. One of the big things about all the Pangos that we've seen so far is that all the teams do try and make a little bit of space for it, whether it's in the initial laning phase setup, like the way that we saw Newbie go for it, or whether they use a core to create space for Pango to be able to do the other stuff. But I don't think VP can actually do that here with an SF and Sven. Both those heroes are going to need a heavy window
10
of farm
seconds
time,
remaining.
so I kind of wonder what they're going to do to enable
5
Pasha
seconds
to start with,
remaining.
make sure he has a good game.
Maybe Earthshaker just pulls waves or something.
Yeah.
Maybe Pasha can do that himself. They've actually got killers though now on the side of Serenity. Like their lineup looks slightly more balanced.
This will hopefully not be the one-sided game that we saw in the first go-around of this series. Serenity went 1-1 with Team Secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won game 1, they lost game 2. I think they did their offlane storm thing game 2.
Yeah, side lane Storm Spirit.
I told you
How do
that
you
was
feel about
coming.
it? Yeah, you called it.
I was like, that Cap, you're gonna see some crazy stuff from these guys. Then they immediately did it.
So you've been talking about how this meta is like everyone's going to be doing crazy stuff, and it feels like this group stage has been all the teams doing some crazy stuff. It's just maybe Team Serenity is going a little too far outside of that box.
Potentially. And the thing that you should notice, this is still TI. Should be careful, guys. You still gotta pick up wins.
Prediction time. Player with the highest net worth by 25 minutes. SF? No? I'm gonna say no. Oh no, the tips. I can't see anything. They're obfuscating my vision. Team with the player with the highest net worth at game end. I'll say Ramses.
I feel like it's kind of flipped.
Player with the highest net worth by 10 minutes. I'm gonna say ZYD. Number of towers killed before 25 minutes. 6 to 10. Oh. Eat the tree. Just do
That would be the most boss move I've ever seen in my life.
it. All of a sudden, they're like, "There's a bear here.
30 seconds to
There's a bear in the forest." Virtus Pro are going to be hanging on this top part of the map to make sure they get the double bounty rooms, and very hard for Team Serenity to possibly contest that against an Earthshaker. Body blocking, a lot of good areas to get a good Fisher block in. Solo actually thinks that they have some sort of vision there, right outside that tree area. Not going to be the case, but they
You would
have
be
already
wrong.
killed a ward just outside of the mid-tier one.
They've done their research here. The other one, of course, is in this bottom lane.
Blocking out the easy camp. They want to make sure that their aggro tri-lane is what they're going to be running into the Sven. is well set up for success, and they're going to give the Ursa the 1v1 against the Pango, which, again, I'm not terribly surprised that Pasha is going to be left in a 1v1, but this is not going to be a winning 1v1. Ursa will smash you.
I think they realize because the Ursa pick works just because no matter what core he's against, he's going to be somewhat happy.
Yeah. That was unfortunate out there. The Earthshaker Fisher block does lead the creeps going into the tower, and in a 1v1, and especially a 1v1 that you should win as the Ursa, you're not happy with your creep wave pushing. Already, bottom lane, XCJ does manage to get the kill onto Solo. Hidden into the side of the trees, they pop out, manage to get a sneaky surprise on VP.
This is a much better start. Just much better lanes overall, too.
It's
It's going to force Solo up here at top, because there's no way that they want Pango versus Ursa one-on-one.
Yeah. And that in turn, PYW
will.
will rotate. Now he looks to be able to pull the easy camp. That has also been blocked. Both teams doing a similar idea strategy here, trying to block the easy camp, prevent the pull, knowing that their aggro lane is superior. Or at least is in a better position without that pull anyway. ZYD blocked in. No one sets himself up in position to be able to get some good hits in. One raise lands. ZYD trying to stutter step to dodge another raise and does manage to dodge it. Fairy Fire goes off. He's going to turn around, tries to go for the stun onto the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, we have the battle between the two supports in the top lane. ZYD does manage to chase away this Earthshaker. Back away behind the tier 1 tower. Going to be blocked up again by that Fisher. No one's going to start trying and chase him down. Roger trying to get in front of ZYD. He turns around and goes for all the nukes. He's just going to give up his life. I feel like this is almost one of those situations where he's like, I'm going to be out of lane too long.
Yeah, I don't even think that's that bad, just because no one's out of mana.
But he did just he missed double range creeps as a result of all that interference from Roger.
Roger just makes every lane so good for no one. The rest of the lanes, though, are still going fine, despite that kill.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, this is certainly going to be Ursa favored top lane, and then bottom lane seems to be going pretty well for GGG. He's currently sitting at 10-5. The Sven has kind of had to be in timeout in the initial part of the laning phase when they got ganked and there was a tri-lane and everything else, so his CS a little bit behind, but not by much. Roger, continuing his roaming shenanigans, is now at the bottom lane.
And Ramsey's... he's not loving this bottom lane.
Yeah. There's just a lot of magic damage harassment that they can get in. Between the Lances, Crystal Maiden actually goes for the early level of Frostbite for the extra killing power rather than the extra spamming power of Arcane Aura or the value in Crystal Nova. Bottom lane, or top lane rather, they managed to get the stun onto Pasha, follow up with a couple of hits from the Ursa, enough to be able to chase both of the heroes away from the creep wave.
Not sure what that was fully meant to accomplish, but
it gets them out of range of the experience range, I think, of the creep wave. It's like the Ursa specialty, you know? Just run at the hero and think that you're a really good player. I'm not better at all. PYW sneaking in from behind, does manage to find Solo. Solo does not have an escape mechanism except for his own boots. He puts the jukes on, but is eventually found out. Does manage to get off at least the spiteful arcane curse before he goes down. The wrap in from behind. ZYD is going to show himself. Does manage to hit the LSA. Pasha, having already used the swashbuckle, has no escape. He managed to catch the two of them together.
This is a nice rotation.
All thanks to a 4-minute haste rune.
It's not even going to cost him that much. He's going to be able to show up in the lane pretty quickly after.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's
is
much
under
better start,
attack.
though, for Team Serenity.
Looks like he's actually going to farm neutrals and just take advantage of that 5-minute shrine coming in.
Yeah. I know I hated on their Game 1 draft so bad because, well, I think everyone can agree it was just a little bit off kilter. But in this game, too, like, there's just logic behind it. Like, last game, I just couldn't ascertain what was supposed to be what. Whereas in this game, it's like, okay, everything sort of makes sense. They put this Ursa, this is sort of this EG thing to do, right? Where you don't necessarily need playmakers in your side lanes as long as those heroes win you the lane.
Yeah.
So oftentimes you see S4 on this hero because he has a good matchup, like an overwhelmingly good matchup, just some sort of melee hero that can't really trade hits with him.
So you think this time they've got 2 of the check marks, right? They've got both the laning phase win, and they've got the, they've got some lane shove. Crystal Maiden, Lina, stuff like that.
Yeah. They've got decent-ish team fight. They've got a lot of stuns, at least. And there's no hero like the Phantom Lancer for them to worry about. You saw that Ramses dodged like almost every single Wraith King stun.
Yeah.
He dodged 2 or 3 shackle shots as well. There's no real way for them to take a fight. Whereas this time there's multiple different ways for them to take a fight.
Yeah. I would say all 3 of their cores can be pretty good team fighters if they're ahead, right? Like Phantom Lancer with the early diffuse of Blade can be really scary. Ursa is obviously a big snowballing hero. Same kind of goes for Lina as well. Kisses all around.
That intentional? It looked intentional.
Did you know that I played a game recently with ZYD?
How'd it go?
Well, I had Papita and Ritsu on my team. Papita had a monitor issue and had to leave the game. Ritsu was arguing with the 5th random pub guy, and both were feeding. So it didn't start out great, and then we won 4 versus 5, thanks in large part to ZYD.
What hero was he playing?
Mirana mid. XCJ, he's not going to have a fun time here, surrounded by 3 heroes. They give the kill to Ramses. What struck me, though, was how patient, and he just seemed like a nice guy, ZYD. He spoke a bit of English, typing, not actually using his mic. And he just seemed pretty positive. Obviously played like a beast, because it's an NA pub, and so he's outplaying everyone.
Hey, have some pride.
It's an NA pub at my level, dude.
Grant would not be happy about that.
2 to 3, almost 6 minutes in. 31-12 is now the CS score on the Phantom Lancer, completely outstripping the CS score of Ramses, who's 19-2. Mid lane, trying to get a rotation from PYW, see if he can catch no one's SF, set up ZYD, who does have his level 6, ready to go with the Laguna Blade. But no one has some pretty good defensive vision on both sides of his mid lane. Soul's going to be found inside the jungle. He's going to go down. Again, another spiteful round of arcane curses and silent words to throw out before he dies. Again, another rotation from PYW, this time on the other side of the river. But again, no one has both the wards to cover both of the River Rune ward spots as well as the common rotation areas from the supports. So they know how important it is for him to be able to have a good game and to be able to farm jungle unimpeded.
This is bottom lane. He's just throwing out stuns to get CS at this point. And they're going to run into Roger here. Lance flies out.
Body blocked a little bit by PYW. Good doppelganger. Arcane Curse comes out trying to slow down some of these heroes. Roger's just trying to go as much damage onto PYW. Might be able to get the kill with the help of the last word. Turns around, manages to get the Arcane Missile. And now Ramses is in trouble. He's going to be lanced up as well. XCJ has a Crystal Nova. Enough to be able to finish off the Sven. They do end up losing their Lina, though, in the mid lane. No one. He just won that 1v1. Oh. Shinkyu. Gonna try and run down Pasha. Pasha has no escape. He's gonna have to juke his way through the trees somehow, but can't get away from the Ursa Bear. With the maxed out Earth Shock plus the phase boots, he can run down anybody. It seems like Virtus Pro's only hope is gonna be no one.
He's a very good standby right now, but gonna find the rune. There's some ancients that have been stacked. I like what Roger does oftentimes when he plays his Shaker. He just sits in mid, stacks up ancients, stacks up normally just the big camp, so that whatever mid hero he has can just swap with him. Because we know that Roger does fancy being a little bit greedier at some point in the game.
But here he stacks up ancients because he's got a Sven, right?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options at this point.
Yeah.
This bottom lane isn't really going too well. There's nothing to really be had top or mid, so you might as well just stack.
William, you're in no one's position. This is one of your pubs. Like, what do you do? Like, you're the only one who's having a good good lane. You're the only one who's actually going to have some decent farm. You've got a Sven who still needs to try and farm and stuff. Like, how do you create space as a Shadow Fiend?
I don't know. I feel like you just farm in this game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone just kind of hits creeps.
Okay.
If you're Virtus Pro,
You'll
just
wait for the mistake.
Yeah, because you'll hit a timing where Ramses gets items. Like, he's going to get Mask of Madness in a Blink Dagger, and then he'll create his own space. But top lane,
Keep chasing him down. Pasha goes
Pasha.
down again.
he's just getting run at. Doesn't feel like he wants to really give up on this lane, but
Solo's dead in the bottom lane. GGG. Doppelganger cut down some of the trees and make it a bit easier to find Solo. He's going to use all those illusions to charge in behind this tier 1 tower. Does manage to reveal Ramses for a second. XCJ couldn't get the frostbite, though.
he even throws down the Waves of Terror just to make absolute sure. But he is well gone.
Yeah. They will at least take that tier 1 tower. Ursa's going to have a Blink Dagger here super fast.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And Pasha's not even level 6. Life is rough for Virtus Pro, and things are looking good for Team Serenity. Up by 4K by 10-minute marker.
Dire's
Pretty good
middle tower
experience
is
lead
under
as well. We'll see where those
Radiant's
10-minute
bottom tower has
bounty
fallen.
runes end up. I'm never sure what to do as a silencer in this sort of game. You
When
know?
you're just under leveled, you
You're-
didn't have a laning phase.
Yeah, you don't have a stun or any. You can't protect your cores really.
Yeah, sure you can. You just kind of sit there and tank deaths.
You just run in front of them and
Yeah, somebody's
take
gotta
me
die.
instead.
Somebody has to die for the cause.
Uh-huh. 3 bounty runes go the way of Serenity, as it should, I think, at this point. With considering the amount of control and the big lead that they have, they should be able to pretty much bully Virtus Pro. And the rich get richer. 5K gold lead now for Serenity. PYW is going to take some time to farm up the mid lane, while ZYD, Belina at level 9, can easily jungle and just play off map. And that just makes it harder for Virtus Pro to be able to show anywhere, do anything. No one is going to be going for a Shadow Blade, which is kind of an early playmaking item for this hero.
Regeneration.
And I feel so bad for Pasha. It's like anytime he shows himself in a lane at all, he just gets run at.
Yeah. Both these cores, when they're ahead, they can chase down a Pangolier, right? They've, like, on one hand, you've got Ursa with the Earthshock slow. It lasts so long that you can actually catch up after he swashbuckles. And on the other side, you've got Phantom Rush from the Phantom Lancer that can keep chasing you down. Team Serenity definitely seem prepared for the Virtus Pro Pangolier, and are punishing it pretty heavily. Top net worth is the Ursa, followed up by No One's SF, who's still obviously doing a good job farming up the jungle and such, but not far behind him. Phantom Lancer and Lina, pretty much neck and neck with him in net worth.
This PL almost has Diffusal.
Oh, already.
You've got Blink on Ursa, Yules. Everyone's getting core items. I really like the way that Serenity's taking this. It's like they're going to wait, they're going to get all the items all together, and then you just form a ball, take fights nonstop. And you should be able to overwhelm Virtus Pro because, like I said, VP just kind of want to farm, which is what you see no one doing, right? He hasn't really moved. He's just kind of sitting in his lane, spamming out raises. He's going to farm. I mean, Ramses is in a similar situation just because his laning phase went so bad. You can't really expect him to participate in fights.
Yeah.
Like, you need him to just farm up items. And so for VP, the only move is sort of watch Serenity run at you.
They're going to have to watch a Shin Q run at them with 2 lives. He's got the Aegis now.
That's an early Roshan too. So Roshan number 2 spawns around 22. You could go potentially high ground with that.
Yeah. They're going to cut their way behind the tier 1 offlane towers. They're going to be able to catch the Vengeful Spirit.
Oh.
Easy, but Pasha is going to come in. He does have his level 6. Can they actually win a fight here? The swap back. Shin Q does manage to get away, but Pasha chased him down with the Rolling Thunder. Will be able to find another
They need to
bounce in.
move.
Can they actually kill him a second time? No one. He's going to lead up with the Requiem of Souls. See if he can get that quick pop.
Oh, you're
nails
gone.
it perfectly.
Radiant's middle tower is under
He had no enrage for that second life, and Serenity may have just overextended themselves in a big way. They're still trying to take that mid-tier 1 tower with ZYT. The 2 supports will back him up in his venture.
I mean, that was so greedy. If you have the rest of your team there, I'm okay with taking that fight.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd say that was a pretty good fight.
Go for the deny. No one snags it.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
So 2 minor victories there for Virtus Pro. Big one in being able to take the Aegis and killing the Ursa, and a smaller one in the deny. Mask of Madness now complete for Ramses, so all his time that is being spent in the jungle just became a lot more efficient. And the Shadow Blade is up for no one, so he can start making some plays. Up to the top lane, Xinkyu immediately jumps onto Pasha as soon as he shows himself in lane, forcing a swashbuckle.
Shinkyu's got to be careful. Like, you're not some weird offlane Ursa or anything like that. Your team has prioritized a lot of farm onto you. But they've got all the basic like tier 1 fighting items.
We see that replay again. I love the way that Pasha held onto his Rolling Thunder. He read the fact that swap was going to come out from the Vengeful Spirit and knew that they really needed that disable to make sure they locked down that Ursa.
I just like the fact that they gave up on the Venge.
Yeah.
They're just like, let's get the obvious target here.
Right.
We kill his Aegis, we kill his cheese.
And now he's got a Blink Dagger. So Virtus Pro, when you were talking about, like, I need these 3 things, one of these 3 things, well, now you've got the superior initiation from VP. They can win team fights, even though they're down, simply because they've got Rolling Thunder, Blink Dagger. Later on, they may even have Blink Dagger on Roger, but that's more of a dream at this point. He's only sitting at 400 gold.
You're not seeing that for some time.
XCJ, kind of positioning himself deep in the jungle, is going to run into some of these heroes. It does at least make sure that his Lina isn't picked off, but feels like it's unnecessary to let in your supports die like this. Xinkyu is very far forward here. The Rolling Thunder is going to come in, stops him from being able to blink away. Another blink coming up. No, he's stopped by the Stormhammer. He's going to be caught out. Turns to try and fight Ramses, but it is to no avail. Maybe he's not. He actually managed to get the kill before he dies. GGG comes in, does manage to get a lot of damage on Pasha. He's already dead with all that minus armor. No one managed to get off a good Reckoning of his Souls. They're forced to back up. GGG is dropping low. He still has the last word on him. A nice dunk from Roger. Managed to get more damage, and there goes the Phantom Lancer. He's dead. ZYD, he is forced to try and clean up some of these supports to make this fight look a bit better for Team Serenity.
Roger's really
and Roger is going to be the one spotted finally. Oh, he managed to get the Vengeful Spirit kill. So it ends up being a 3 for 4. Now, I'm going to say that was kind of okay for VP considering they are down in net worth.
I mean, they won both the gold lead and the XP off of that.
Yeah.
They got 700 more gold, 1,000 more XP, and that fight could have gone a lot worse. I thought that was actually just going to be like 2 deaths on the side of Serenity, and they were going to mop house.
Mm-hmm.
But not being able to find no one while he was in the tree line, that hurt quite a bit.
I mean, I feel like Serenity's just being a little sloppy. Like, XCJ, I can see a support dying, being aggressive positioning. That's okay, but to have your Ursa immediately caught out, past the river, just as you saw a bunch of heroes in that, jungle area.
No one's starting to get really farmed now, though, too.
Yeah.
Starting to pick up items at the very least. Solo is having the opposite issue here. 1, 6, and 4. He's got 4 stolen int.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to that man who, at 14 minutes, still did not have boots. He's got them now, though. Living the high life of supports.
He's got raindrops refreshed. Thank you.
That is the energy drink of your choice for supports. GGG apparently feeling like the magic damage that's coming out is a little bit too rough. So he's going to go for a hood and not for like an earlier BKB. Why is that?
I think it's a little bit greedy, but I really like it when you go hood when you're against heroes with the instant jump that just magic burst you.
Right.
If
So like Pango and Earthshaker?
yeah, it's like if you get hit by one of these 2 heroes, it's much more likely that you survive off that, I think. Would be my reasoning.
Oh, Xinkyu misses out on the blink clap there. He was just doing it blind. As soon as the smoke popped, he tried to blink forward. Missed that. They do get some vision down, though, to be able to pressure that offlane tower. And they spot Ramses. Can they get him? They do have a swap available. Thinks about it. PYW finally pulls that trigger, stuns him up, and a quick kill on Ramses. So that smoke does end up finding a very important kill. Maybe he misses Roger, but he gets a better one in Ramses.
they always have the tools to be able to kill him. This is the thing at this point. Like, once he gets Blink Dagger, I think that's when you'll probably see VP start to group up, because it'll coincide with the timing of no one getting his BKB. But I don't know if you have the time to wait for your Sven to get a BKB after that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to start taking whatever timing fights that you can.
Oh, Blink Dagger's up for Roger.
What? Didn't he have like 400 gold a second ago?
Yeah. That was like 5 minutes ago, and he had 400 gold. Now he's got a Blink Dagger. All right. I think he was the recipient of that really big Ursa kill.
He was.
If I'm not wrong.
Wait, the one where they found him with the Aegis?
No, the one after that where he managed to get the Echo Slam. Or was that the Phantom Monster he killed? I think it was the Phantom Monster.
I know he killed Avenge.
Oh, okay.
Remember when he threw the fissure at the
Oh,
last
yeah,
one?
I see that. 419 gold. Yeah, that certainly helps.
That's the nice part about being behind and getting all these like random support pickoffs. You sort of get gold.
Yeah. 3-man smoke up. They do have a successful scan, and Ramses was in the side jungle, so I think they know it's a hero that isn't the Sven behind him. XCJ is going to lead the way with the Crystal Nova, trying to get them some vision. Does manage to get the jump on a solo here. The roll in from Pasha, but they baited an illusion out from the Phantom Lancers, so they're going to give up the Crystal Maiden. Sure, but the initiation is now gone from VP, and Serenity can try and pound. GGG looking to be able to slow down these heroes. Roger shows himself. He doesn't have the Blink Dagger, though. The Ult Scepter up onto the SF. Managed to get the LSA stun, trying to blow him up. ZYD can't quite do enough damage. Now ZYD being threatened by the physical damage. Ramses comes forward, blink forward, finish him off. Shin Q comes in with the physical damage of his own. Managed to bring down the Sven. Trading out 1-for-1 cores, a buyback from the Crystal Maiden, hoping to be able to slow down, jump away. Earthshaker couldn't TP out in time. He gets caught, double kill for Shin Q. He pushes forward, looking to be able to grab more. No one does have the Shadow Blade, though. And no detection on our Ursa Bear. We are in potential Roche spawning time. And it is actually a very early Roshan, just another 40-second wait for Team Serenity. So it's a good start that they managed to push this top lane, or kind of controlling this area. Will give them a good running start on taking that second Roche.
They'd really like that one, especially on their Lina. You saw him just kind of get right-click down.
Yeah.
So we're going to watch the replay of this solo.
I mean, look at this. Look at this play from the illusions coming forward. You could see, like, Pasha as well as Ramses really thought they had something more than just a Crystal Maiden.
Their entire team committed so hard for that. They smoke.
Yeah.
Try to reset the fight a little bit.
ZYD surprisingly does manage to get the LSA stun there onto no one. I'm just not sure if he really cared to pop a BKB at that point. So we head back into the game. You can see Virtus Pro are trying to push out, are trying to control that Roshan area, but there's a lot of aggressive vision from Serenity. All in this off-lane jungle area, one by the Ancients, another one farther up on that cliff. And Shin Q's doing the right thing, right? Push out the bottom lane, see if you can force someone on the Radiant side to defend the tier 2. If so, that opens up the Roshan pit for you.
VP, though, gonna finally take a tower. I didn't even realize that they hadn't.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch VP games, it always feels like they take tier 1 so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that last game, they just took all of them one after another. They're like, these belong to us.
Dude,
Thank you very much.
Look at these guys. I don't think they want to do Roshan. I think they want to take the fight of somebody trying to go into the Roshan pit. And XCJ, well, he's going to be one potentially caught out here. Ramsey's blinking forward. LSA not going to go out. ZYD faking it.
They really don't want to hard commit for this. The double stun.
Don't manage to get the stun out onto the Sven. The roll in from Pasha will finally manage to finish up that Crystal Maiden. Now he runs into the Phantom Lancer on his way out, jumps his way over the river with a swift swashbuckle. Gets away.
Global, though. They're thinking about re-engaging too. You see that the ping's coming out by solo.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful here if you're Serenity. Just because they don't have global, you're still at a number
system. Oh, and manages to jump onto the Lina with an Echo Slam follow-up. The swap comes out. ZYD trying to limp himself away. Does manage to get the Ult Scepter onto the Sven. Now the magic damage comes in. Immediately just throws out the Laguna Blade, but he has to run away from no one. No one is so fast trying to catch up. Finally manages to spot him. ZYD ends up going down. trading life for the Sven. GGG, he's going to have to try and carry this fight, but he's afraid of Roger right now as he doesn't have a doppelganger just yet. Still silenced for so long. No one gets a little bit more damage onto him. Shinkyu comes forward, manages to get on top of the SF and pounds him to the ground. No one falls, and finally, Serenity do manage to win the fight, even if initially they lost their Lina against no one. It took him a lot of his BKB time.
They're
And now
going to
Shinkyu-
get the Aegis out of this, too.
Yeah, just go straight for that Roshan pit.
The biggest part of that was that you saw the utility of the Venge right there. If
Yeah.
you have the ability to swap and you can reset the fight, it allowed her to just stay alive for such a long time. No one had to run past everyone just to get there. He couldn't protect his Sven whatsoever. Ramses is not surviving in these fights, so he's not getting any closer to his BKB either. Like, often he's kind of the sacrificial lamb where he runs in, he pops his ult.
And to see that again, the save from PYW is what makes that the double initiation.
He barely lives there.
Yeah.
If they get one more spell off on him, he dies. As a
no
result,
one-
he gets his full toolkit onto Ramses.
Yeah. I love the fact that he just blows his Laguna Blade. He knows like he needs to get out the damage right away because he may die. And sure enough, he does. No one chases him down with his BKB.
Yeah.
Boy, they thought they had this with a silenced up Phantom Lancer, but when Shinkyu comes back in, becomes a whole lot worse. Pasha, feeling like he wants to try and get some more damage out of his ultimate, is actually going to go for the 2-second shield crash CD in ball for his level 15 talent. I usually see a lot of Pangos, pro Pangos going for the extra 2 seconds. But bottom lane, they're going to be able to catch a support here, or ZYD, can he stop this one? LSA a little bit
misses
early
it.
there, misses out on the stun. PYW still trying to get away, freezing field
No
on
one.
the high ground, but no one gets off the ultimate. GGG does manage to dodge
don't
a
wanna
good
take
amount
this
of
fight
the
anymore.
damage. Now he's going to slow down Ramses. Managed to get the Lance out. Global silence out. Now the turn. Maybe Ramses can finish off that Phantom Lancer with the help of no one. They do manage to
There's
take down
the
that
Aegis.
Aegis, but he got hit by the LSA. ZYD is still chasing him down, not letting him get that blink out. They will punish Virtus Pro for taking that Aegis. Roger somehow TPs right next to the neutrals, but maybe Pasha? Nah, he's not going to get caught. He is way too much mobility.
Oh, man. Like, they just continue. Again, this Sven takes this fight. He's like, this fight actually kind of looks okay, but he always dies at the end of it. So he's not getting any closer to his BKB. He desperately needs it to really be able to do anything. Like, his net worth has fallen so abysmally far behind. You talked about it. You're like, who's supposed to make space on this team? I was like, well, once the Sven gets Blink, they're just going to take fights and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Maybe if the fight swings in his favor, he isn't the first one to just get popped, and he gets some gold. He'd get a BKB, and these fights would look a little bit different. But as a result, they just can't really do anything right now. He just gets kited.
Oh no, that feels bad.
Top lane looking like a decentish bait.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. Pasha rolls in, follow up. Roger just throws everything they have. They get the Yule Scepter off from Pasha as well. So they do have a lot of chain stun possibilities, as we saw from that kill on the Lina. Still, though, Serenity are taking a tier 2 at the same time. So, and they're gonna go for a high ground threat.
You might as well try to force them back. You know there's no Echo Slam is the big deal. These aren't my favorite cores at hitting towers, so they might just get forced back by default.
All of Virtus Pro do come back, but you're absolutely right, Team Serenity. Not feeling great about hitting the high ground too much. They'll back up. Trying to get the Abyssal Blade for Shinkyu. That will, again, just be another hard counter to this SF, who's currently trying to go for a Scythe of Ice, hoping for the level 25 talent around the same time so he can get that cooldown reduction. GGG is just trying to tank up. Got the Manta already, has the hood from the magic damage. We were talking about those issues earlier. Now he's just going to go for the raw HP of the Vitality Booster. Once he has that, he's certainly not unkillable, but it will force VP to throw so many resources at him to bring him down.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're Ramses, for the 100th time, you need
Oh,
look at this.
Tower is under attack.
that one step closer.
One step closer to the BKB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he didn't expect that. You gotta count your blessings in this life, Cap.
ZYD is so close to Pasha. He's hunting. Tries to go for the LSA. Oh, Pasha! He just ran the opposite direction for a moment.
Tower is under attack.
And the LSA misses. Meanwhile, there is a Strike Force team of Serenity members clearing through this area where Solo died trying to get the D ward. That is the worst feeling, by the way. When you go for a D ward, and then not only do you die, but then they deny the ward. Ugh.
They've taken everything from you at that point.
Yeah. You're like, what was my life worth? It was supposed to be worth an observer ward.
It's worth a lot, Cap.
You take away even that.
Take away the biggest part. Sorry. No one's going to go for a Hex. Add some further control. And they
William.
need something for...
Never
This
apologize for your singing voice.
I was just singing Chicago.
I know.
Solo. Get out of there, buddy. Oh, God. The reverse losing int.
And he placed a ward, which it gets killed immediately. That's the second worst feeling as a support. You die placing an observer ward and it gets
Dire's
denied.
bottom tower is under attack.
Again, your life was supposed to be for an observer ward, one way or another. And Serenity are just not letting you have that. And they are very rapidly moving around the map. They just rotate up to the top lane. They're going to try and push into that off lane jungle, it looks like. But VP, they're already set up. It is double damage Phantom Lancer right now. Ursa's going to lead the way. He does have BKB as well as Enrage. So
You've got to
he
be
is-
confident that you can pop him.
Yeah.
And you should not be.
Everyone run. GGG gets himself stuck up on the cliff.
Money to burn.
Oh! Shinkyu still finds Solo. That is back-to-back-to-back deaths, where he steps outside the base for a moment. And that's all it takes. ZYD used his BKB here in the top lane. Now is searching for Roger, is going to miss that stun, needs the Yule Scepter, will find it, he'll stop the TP. And that should be a kill, as long as Roger, maybe he can blink himself out. Still, hit by
Nice
another
stun.
LSA, PSW. He'll catch him. Pasha goes for the kill on the courier and gets it too.
Been killed.
It took 2 hits, Serenity not fast enough. The reactions to be able to save their flying buddy.
Okay, so you've got BKB on Sven. There's a heart on Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I thought this was a start of like, here's the good things for Virtus Pro, and then he immediately fouled into there's a heart on Phantom Lancer. XCJ is going to be caught by Ramses as he was waiting there for a long, long time.
It's a lot of gold.
Yeah. That is absolutely worth it. 451 gold plus a creep wave. Plus a creep wave. Not only does he have BKB, he's got a tome ready to go. He wants that level 20.
Dire's bottom
It is
tower
hard
under
for
attack.
Serenity to go high ground.
Yeah, that's the only
So-
downside of the lineup. Because
I-
once Alina,
Dire's bottom
if she
tower
stands in front, you have to just all in rely on PYW to get the swap off.
Yeah.
I feel like they should wait for the next Aegis. There's no reason for them to have to force any sort of plays. They've got 2
Dire's
tier
top
2s
tower
down.
is under
Oh,
attack.
look at
So
that.
if they win one fight, they're liable to just take 2 racks.
Sven pushing bottom. As soon as somebody showed, VP smoke up, push out. Hope to be able to catch somebody while they know
If
that
they could
Shinkyu's
connect to bottom
lane.
and get this kill on this Ursa, that would be massive.
That could be massive, but Virtus Pro is getting a little, they're hemming and hawing. They're not sure which direction they're going. And in the end, they give up on trying to catch the Ursa. Instead, just trying to secure Ramses some more space. He does get that level 20, has the lifesteal now. But a smoke up from Serenity, a smoke of their own. Sitting 4-man, gonna run into Pasha, swap back. Whoa! He managed to blink himself away from the LSA in time. Swashbuckles out. Can he
Roll
actually get
out.
out of here? Well, Roger is gonna be the one who dies instead.
Autobots roll out.
And Shinkyu runs solo again. Honestly, is it even worth talking about Solo
yeah.
dying at this point?
Solo,
It's like talking about creeps dying. You know?
He's up in 30
Radiant's
seconds.
middle
Like,
tower is under attack.
No big deal.
he didn't pop his global. Joke's on using.
So, This is what Serenity needed. They needed pickoffs outside of the base before they could go high ground.
Yeah, I mean, this looks similar to the game where they beat Secret. Is they just had good ways to catch. You give ZYD this hero like Lina, back-to-back games. I'm a fan of that. And with the 2 lanes opened up like we talked about, you should be able to get another set of racks with this.
Are they going to be greedy, though?
I think you play greedy here.
Okay.
Play to win.
Good open an opportunity for Virtus.pro to win a team fight as the heroes come up. Oh, immediate reveal. Swap back onto Roger. Managed to blink himself to safety, though, with the global silence going off. Serenity are now going to try and retreat. Give up PYW. He's only a vengeful spirit. Serenity are going to try and get out as a 4-man, but GGG. He didn't doppelganger very far away. Now the BKB, it's wearing out on Ramses. Turns around, tries to get some damage. Soul is going to be slowed down. Here comes the Rolling Thunder from Posh. The BKB already popped by Jin-Q. Goes straight for the throw. Goes straight for no one. Does manage to get that kill. Now slowing down Ramses as well. Ramses does not have that magic immunity to protect himself against the Lina. He will end up falling as well. Mass buybacks coming out from Virtus.pro. This could be the final fight for them as Soul is going to be wiped off the earth by GGG once again.
PL.
1 race, 2 race. Does manage to finish off the Crystal Main. A BKB popped. Turns around, tries to go for a race on GGG, but he's already doppelgangered away. Now the focus on that second lane of racks, even with the buybacks. Virtus.pro are huddled inside of their base, cowering next to their shrine, and watching their Raxes die. Serenity call it day. 2 fights won, 2 lanes of racks taken.
They didn't take the underrated racks, though.
Ah, how underrated is the range racks really?
It kind of matters. I seen a team lose from it. Remember Alliance?
Yeah. The lane of Raxus is 100%. How much is the melee? How much is the range? Give me a percentage.
Radiant are scanning.
70-30?
That's actually what came to my mind first.
Yeah.
And I'm a gut instinct kind of guy.
Okay.
They've got some real Phantom Lancer problems right now, Cap.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they hex him. No one gets like 4 hits off, and they're just like, okay.
Now he's got cheese. It seems so unlikely with this much HP that he's going to get bursted down. And again, the hood looks so good. The extra magic armor with this amount of HP, because it's largely magic damage they're coming at him with Echo Slam and Rolling Thunder initially.
Okay, so this is your all-in attempt right now if you're VP. You used all your buybacks. You're starting to run real low on BKB charges on your SF.
Roger's in a position
They
to
know
be able
about
to go for a Fisher block.
Yeah, where's the...
ZYD. Oh, he managed to hit the LSA onto no one. No BKB. Brought down by
He's gone.
Jin-Q. That is a dieback. Ramses with the BKB activated, but he's getting just kited around. PYW swapped him out of position. Now they're poking at him. He turns around, tries to go for a kill. You'll suffer immediately from ZYD. Roger comes in with a big Echo Slam onto 2. But how much damage is there really out of just a solo Roger? The answer is enough to be able to kill a Crystal Maiden. Virtus.pro call it. Team Serenity. Hey, they went 1-1 with Secret. They've now gone 1-1 with Virtus.pro. This is pretty good showing by them.
They just have to stop themselves
Yeah.
from going a little bit too far in the draft. They're just like, well, we have a pretty good draft. Let's just take it like clinks.
Someone just needs to take
Ricky.
like PYW's got his hand on the mouse. Someone just needs to put their hand on top of his.
They have to like Ouija
and,
board to a good hero.
Don't do the Ricky. Don't do the Ricky core, my dude. Don't do Wraith
Not
King
with the rest of
support.
their heroes.
Fair enough. Team Serenity, not bad. Not bad. 1-1 performance against one of the best teams here at this international. Looking pretty good. Looking forward to seeing more of them. But I'm not ashamed to say it, William. I am most excited for this next series.
Liquid LGD?
Liquid LGD. That's what's coming up next. So you don't want to go anywhere. We'll be back with the final series of the day. That is Team Liquid versus LGD.